You wanted to see there in the end, but in that fourth quarter, we could kind of see the momentum change with your guys. It looked like something started to kind of click as they rallied back. What did you see from them this morning?
The guys played hard. They competed. We were shorthanded, especially in the middle position. I thought Kevin Knox and Jaime at the 5, they did what they could. We tried to double team a little bit, and they hit a couple of tough threes. But even down the stretch, whatever happens, you still have to execute offensively. Passing, pass faking, spacing, all those things on the offensive end. But I thought we battled as hard as we could. Had a couple of breakdowns in our trap rotation. But it's tough when you go against a talented center like Valanciunas, who can pass it and can score. We made a couple mistakes letting him go baseline, but I can't fault Jaime and Knox for battling in there.
What happened with the second delay in game call, and how tough was that?
It was tough. It was 1 point. I mean, it's still, it was tough call. Those things are so subjective. When you call it, where the guys are crossing half court, that was a tough call. I mean, I'm gonna save my money, but it was a tough call.
Dwane, I know defensively you mentioned there were some breakdowns, but it's kind of hard to win this league shooting 23% from 3 and
again, that was what was surprising, James, and the fact that we've been shooting the ball so well. We had some great looks down the stretch, wide open looks that created, and those you have to. It's a make or miss. And the other night we made them, and tonight, and we still have to take those shots.
And with that, and you talk about this all the time, just even the margin for error for this team, and there was that moment in the second quarter where there were kind of a lot of one-pass possessions and the ball wasn't moving. That's kind of when they made the run, and you guys were able to break into that a little bit, but they're getting smaller and smaller, but it kind of, I guess, shows.
Right. You're so right. And people look at the end of the game, but the game changed in that section when the ball stopped moving. No pass possessions, one pass possessions. We didn't change sides of the floor. Stuff we talked about. The movement, we were standing. If we have to yell from the sideline to move, it's too late. And so, but that short stretch right there is when they open it up. And but I will say this: the guys competed. They fought their way back in. We had five guards, maybe one wing on the court. I thought Jaime was phenomenal. I thought he attacked on the dribble, led the break, beat them down the court multiple times, finished some tough shots. Unfortunately, him playing the 5 and Kevin played the 5, he got in foul trouble. So, but I like the way we competed. But again, the margin for error for us is very, very small.
26 fast break points. Take a look.
Time now for the BetMGM against the spread. Saw C.J. McCollum, hit the under tonight. Pistons did a fair job against him. Again, as we were talking about, it was Jonas Valanciunas who really got going, but McCollum hit the under. Jaden Ivey also the under, limited to just 12 points here tonight. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
Started playing a little harder, competing, and we felt like we had a chance there at the end, but I feel like we had to do that from the start of the game, but I felt like we left it all on the court tonight. We competed, we battled, and just a couple things didn't go our way. But that's a talented team that we just played. One of the top teams in the West. And we battled, we left it all on the court. Just got to get ready for the next one. But that was a good game, I feel like.
Just being undermanned without your starting front court, how tough is that to work with?
It's more than tough. Being out there guarding those big fellas. I mean, I commend Jalen, Isaiah, Marvin, Nerlens. It's tough. It's tough to big fellas come up, set screens, and just do all the little things that don't show up in the stat sheet. So, I mean, I commend those guys and can't wait for them to get healthy and get back on the court. So, hopefully they can get back soon. But
what have you learned about just the options available to you playing center when you get those rebounds and you go? And just how has the game opened up for you playing in the front court a little bit more?
I feel like I have the opportunity to rebound more and be able to push. I feel like when I'm guarding wings, it's so hard to guard a wing on the perimeter and then crash in to get a rebound and then push. But when I'm down there already, ball falls in my hand and I'm able to showcase my transition skill set. I mean, that's been really good for me throughout my career. So, I mean, I feel like it kind of showed a little flash of it, I guess. But I mean, it's just different feels when you're playing those big guys, you just end up under the rim every time, and then I don't feel like anybody can stop me when I'm in the open floor with the ball. I don't think so.
Yeah, not sure how much center you played before this season, but just even dating back to this week with two of the big guys out, you've had a really strong run going off the bench. Do you feel like the coaching staff and you have really kind of found a groove as far as how to maximize your skill set, and do you feel comfortable in the role you're in now?
I feel like every day you just come out and it's a different game every night. So you just come out prepared mentally for whatever challenge is ahead of me. So, I mean, whether if I'm playing at the small ball 5 or whether I'm playing at the wing, I feel like even like games before this when Stu and JD was playing, it's just all about rhythm and feel. And for a team like this with just a lot of different lineups throughout the year, I mean, a lot of different occasions and stuff like that, it's just all about rhythm and feel and just keeping that confidence. I feel like the game is mostly played with confidence, and when you go out there and you stay confident and you're playing those minutes, I mean, it's easy to just keep on rolling on to the next game, but it's when adversity hits that's when you see who's who, and that's when you see who could bounce back. And I feel like adversity determines what type of person you're going to be for the long run, not only just basketball. So adversity is a great thing, I would say, yeah.
I mean, your team scored 26 points in transition tonight. How do you feel like this team can beat when you're out there running and sharing the ball?
I feel like we could have had a lot more transition points. I mean, just a bunch of like careless like turnovers, whether if it's turnovers, charges, or just missed passes that we didn't convert in transition. But I feel like we're a transition team. I mean, we're a young team, fast, athletic, and we're a team that we need to play in the open floor to be successful. And we just got to be smarter. So we can't get mad when we're trying to slow things down if we have 2, 3, 4 plays and we didn't convert in transition. It just looks like bad basketball. So just being smarter in transition, and that comes with time. I mean, with the young guards that we have, I mean, it takes time learning when to go, learning when not to go. I mean, I had some of the same problems just thinking I could outrun anybody or just thinking I could fly over anybody. I mean, my first couple years in the league, I mean, I was getting so many charges. I just had to reevaluate, like, when to go, when not to go. So, I mean, it just takes time. I mean, and now I feel like I just have a feel when to go, when not to go. When they score 6 points and we didn't score, you know, you shouldn't be in transition. So just little things like that we'll pick up on as the season goes on.
Got to keep figuring out ways to have him out there on the floor because he brings it.
I think he's a good role model for the young guys, too, especially Jaden Ivey, setting a standard of how hard you have to play in this game. And I think back over the last couple of years, you know, Langston Galloway was going to be the 6th man, then Frank Jackson and Josh Jackson. And, you know, I think from a staying power standpoint that when you watch Hamidou Diallo, he elevates the Pistons' energy level, but he also does a lot of things that you just can't teach. He wants to score badly, and he's going to the rim, and he creates pressure. There's a correlation, I think, between him getting to the rim, the defense having to commit to help on him, and why the Pistons all of a sudden now are 15th in the NBA from 3.